Welcome to the Middle Sisters, where we dive into the middle of everything. My name is Afton.
This is Mitzi.
And we're here to talk about a few topics that we've been dealing with trips to Pine Top, buying jewelry, trading in, Easter, socializing, raising kids, all kinds of stuff. So, what do you want to start with?
Well, we were having a discussion about AI and where society's going, and we were getting a little in a, I don't know, I guess disagreement about, like, I've always said, hey, I don't think society even needs money. And I think that they were, going into Jesus's teachings and, taking care of everybody and I mean, I'm looking at it like we need to create a society where it's more balanced and equal. I don't necessarily believe in socialism, but I always thought, a real utopia would be that we don't deal with money and that people are paid, or if we do, that people are paid a lot more equal.
Well, you got to watch The Giver, read the book The Giver. Remember where it's a utopia and then people start moving against it because they don't want to be put in a box. They don't want to be...
Well, no, but that's people, that's communism. That's people being told what they have to do. No, but I've never said anyone has to be told what to do. It's just you as a teacher know, we both know firsthand with jobs, it's like you don't get paid well and you're living in poverty and you're like, oh, I'm working just as hard as everyone else, if not more so. We all know how hard teachers work.
Yeah, teachers work
hard. So does
hard.
it make any sense that you don't get paid?
But the schooling, like we were saying, dentists go to school. They pay a lot of money for school. There's kind of life and death situations with some of these doctors. And so they do get paid a lot because they're risk-taking of it. So, I don't know.
Well, I just, when I was talking, we're talking about Afton's oldest son who is a dentist. We were talking about it. And, I said, Zach, you're so blessed to know exactly what you wanted to do and go for it. And, you don't really worry about it because you can make good money in it and enjoy it. But his younger brother, who's creative and loves doing the t-shirts and the art, and he's very good. I mean, he just even made a handbag for his wife that I was like, I want one of those. But yet look at how he doesn't have an easy road to going to just do that and make just as much money.
He's doing what he loves. He's doing both. He's working as a salesman, doing what he loves.
Well, I thought he said he didn't enjoy doing that.
He wants to own his own business. That's only the caveat, is that he's like, I want to be the boss. I said, well, you got to learn. Just like we said, Dave Thomas had to start flipping burgers before he could learn how to run a restaurant like Wendy's.
But he is working hard and learning. It's not fair to say that because he enjoys more of creative work that it isn't as easy. It's not just a hands down. I don't know what it is. It is like the medical field, right? We all know, or like education. We all know that those are more shoe-in jobs. Like it's needed.
Right, because it's a set salary, right? Like you get a job as a teacher, you know what the set salary is, the starting. You get a job as a nurse, but like an attorney, you're billing hours. Like you could be saying, okay, I'm going to bill hours towards this job, and I'm going to spend X amount of time on this court case or this or that. So there are certain jobs like construction where they're like, I'm going to give you a bid on this house or this, job. Like we have a brother-in-law that installs the fanciest windows and doors, elevation window and door, and they put amazing work in. That is like hard work, construction.
Well, and that's, I think,
they can charge a lot because of the cost of this product.
Now that's a good point, because like Paul, so we're talking about Paul, who started at Home Depot.
Yeah.
So he always stayed in the construction part of it. Always enjoyed
learned
that.
As he went.
Moved up, was in sales, has his own company now. And of course, but see, even that, he knew what what he wanted to be involved in, right? He knew the construction and everything was the same thing he stated. What I worry about with Greg is he enjoys the t-shirts and the bag making and all that creative part, but yet he's overselling construction. That's just what I'm saying too. Like, he is having to go outside of what he really wants to do.
To make money.
I'm sure he enjoys it, and he enjoys people and sells, but he's having to go outside of what he really enjoys to do. Now, that wears on people.
So you're saying the love...
Because I personally have lived like that, where I've had to take jobs that I don't necessarily want to do, they don't enjoy, just to make money.
Well, and that's most of society.
Right. So my point is, if we're moving towards AI and robotics, why not create a society where we aren't dealing with money? And that, you know, hey, if you want to learn something, do it. But why make a woman that has 5 kids on her own have to work 3 jobs? It just doesn't make any sense. We just should not be in a society.
No, it starts from the marriage. Like, if she's going to have 5 children with someone, she needs to clearly say, okay,
your husband died on you. You can't choose. You don't know what's going to happen to you. That's not fair to say, she deserves that.
Let me stop you for a minute. It's, if you are prepared, you shall have no fear. You start as a young child saying, okay, I got to be prepared in life. Okay, so yes, you get prepared by going to college. You get a skill. You learn a skill. You make money. There's people in the 1880s that learned how to do lace.
No, I agree with what you're saying. We should always work to better ourselves and help each other. Yes. But you had no idea. Nobody has any idea what's going to happen in their life.
Right.
Like, you happen to have a husband who did very much believe in leaving you with a home, stuff paid off, money in the bank, right?
Right.
You could have easily fell in love with someone that you had no idea was going to die or take off and not leave you with any money. That's not, so it's not fair to say, that woman sort of deserves it.
No, I didn't say deserves it. But
sounded that way.
Mother was left with destitute with nothing to her name. She started cleaning houses. Yeah. She was cleaning houses, and then she got another opportunity to take care of somebody's wealthy home.
Yeah.
And she was basically just like the housekeeper, and then she became a nanny.
And how sad is that, though, that she had worked so hard to take care of 6 children and had no clue that her husband was going to take off and leave her with nothing and toss her out in air. So she is. She had days where she's crying, bent over someone else's toilet, cleaning it, like, geez, I just did this all this time. And now here I'm,
well, it's a survivor
coming to the end of it. Well, of course instinct. We survived.
Right. And so she did. She's like, well,
my point is why are we creating a society where people are having to live like that?
Having to? Well, it's just...
This is why my point with Jesus is, like, Jesus doesn't want us to create a hell for everybody. Jesus wants us to be able to create a heaven for everybody.
Well, and I say this is the in-between between heaven and hell. This is a time of choice. And it's time of trial of who we're going to become. Like, we just had Easter, right?
Yeah.
And so we're following Christ, and we're saying, okay, we want to be the best people that we can be and serve other people.
Right.
So you're living with me. We're serving my mother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
She's ill, and she needs help with meals and getting her CDs cleaned and running, functioning, and
getting her water and taking care of babies. And see, I think that's enjoyable. I think
we have the grandkids coming over.
I feel purpose, like I serve a purpose too with helping you.
Yes.
With, doing the dishes and stuff. And I like to, earn my keep. I'm that kind of person. I want that pride in myself. So,
but also it does take 2 people. Like, I just got a bill from my Pine Top electrical bill, right? I'm like, okay, now I need to pay this in order to have electricity.
Right.
I need to pay this in order to have water.
And so the stress is constantly on you.
Yeah, it is. Because
you have a lot of people.
And there's a lot of money coming in and going out. And so that's just part of life. And so that's why with teaching, I did go substitute. And I was like, oh, I do enjoy this. I like the balance of it, the freedom to come and go, but also I'm here.
And you're tutoring.
Yeah, I'm tutoring. And so.
And that's great. But I guess my point is, I feel like we should have a society where people should have more freedom to do what they enjoy without the fear of like, I can't make money doing that, or it's going to be just, or I got to wait. I just feel like that's...
Well, it's really what you want. Because our mom didn't want she didn't really want anything. She didn't want to have fancy clothes or nails done or hair done. So she's very content living a very simple life.
Well, she probably would have enjoyed it if she wasn't married to someone who stressed her out about it too. Like, we all grew up with that, like, oh, there's no money. But yet, when he, wanted to spend money and go out, there was money.
So I guess that's really your standard of living too.
Yeah.
If you have a high standard of living, then yeah, a lot of times it's like, okay, I got to go make the money to, get the nails done, the hair done, or whatever the extras are in life for luxuries.
Well, maybe that's what we're really talking about. If we move towards AI and robotics and everything, like maybe we do need to just up everybody's standard. And then, yes, if you want to do those extra things like getting the nails and hair done and shopping all the time, then sure, maybe you need to do a little extra whatever. But I just think it's very sad that people...
Let's transition to our jewelry experience. So Mitzi and I go to this shop that says we buy gold. Mm-hmm. So we take our jewelry in. We're like, okay, all these things that we don't really wear anymore. And it was the gold vampire. And so we're like, okay. But the saleswoman kept saying, okay, trade in this, trade in that. And so I took my late husband's wedding ring that he had given me, and it was the old halo, right? The diamond in the middle and the diamonds around.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I want to trade this in to something I will wear. And the lady was just, but then I also wanted to like melt it down because it was 18 karat gold.
Yeah.
Melt it down and make something different, more modern. But she just kept saying, well, a trade in. And I was like, what do you mean trade in? So she was giving us different prices.
Sorry, I sound this cough. Yeah.
So I got this nice little single band, right, with some diamonds in it and baguettes. Yeah, and then a solitaire. And that solitaire, you're like, oh, that one's a lot nicer because it was a J.
Well,
JK.
So the diamond was a better grade. And it was a cool...
Just simple, like gold.
Yeah, it was you. It was simple, understated, but classy and classic. And I'm thinking, okay, you're going to spend all this money just to use the diamond that was a lower grade.
Yeah.
And melt down that gold. I'm like, well, why spend all that money when you could trade in? And you can still look at it like, hey, this still reminds me of my late husband when he gave me, like, I could still think of all that connection, but why spend extra money have it melted down?
So then what happened is she was giving us a price quote, right?
Yeah.
And then they go in another room and they weigh all the gold. So I got like almost $1,200 in
which was
gold.
Really good.
Which was a credit. So then we go to the register and then it was like retail price, and then they called it a discount. And I said, well, why is that a discount? That's not a discount. That was the price of the gold I sold to you. Like, you gave me cash for.
Right.
So it was really confusing because then I said, you mean I just paid retail for these rings? And
that was the main confusing part because before we even talked about the gold you gave them to credit you for these rings, right? She was saying, we'll give you a better price on these rings. So when it's listed there, and yes, it says the retail price, you're like, well, hold on, I thought you were giving me better deals on the rings as well. Along with my trade-in.
Along with my trade-ins, yes.
So we both were a little like, when she's checking out the register, like, we try to be nice about it. Because she worked with you for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Well, she did. I lost a diamond earring, so we got another one.
Yeah.
And then I had a Mexican opal from a trip I did, that was loose, so they repaired that.
Yeah.
And then my bracelet I got on our cruise, remember, that what kept falling off, so they redid the lobster clasp. So they had like $400 worth of repairs for me.
You spent on that bracelet. It's pretty and sparkly, but it's just that Effie. That Effie's
the Effie jewelry. Really they try
expensive.
to get you on cruise ships. So we've learned that Effie is not as expensive as they claim.
Well, no, actually, my ring that I got showed it being like twice as much online, and it was sold out. Yes. So I don't know. I mean, it is a higher end.
We were on another cruise ship where you got the tree, the palm tree, and it was cheaper online. So we really remember you got a credit for it.
Yeah.
So who knows? So jewelry trade-ins, upgrades. I mean, you just have to kind of.
Yeah.
It's all about the value that you feel like you want to pay. You're willing to pay and willing to trade in.
Well, it's what's going on in the economy. That's what gold is worth at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And since diamonds, we were told that since they're making diamonds now, that they're not as worth, the natural ones. They're not worth what they used to be. That's true,
because a lot of the girls are getting moissanite. Which you think would be the opposite. Yeah.
You'd think that, okay, well, if less are being mined or whatever, you'd think they would become even more.
Well, we were told that on our trips with tanzanite. Remember they said, the mine is dried out. There's only very rare tanzanite.
And I gave you the tanzanite.
No, I didn't.
Didn't I?
I don't know, but I have my own tanzanite, and there's different shades of purple, right?
Yeah.
So the deeper is more rare, purple. Anyway, so we had a good time. I went and picked up my repairs and my jewelry. It was resized, and I was like, okay, I'm happy with my decision.
Yeah.
Even though it was like an emotional thing, too, to let go of something I never wore.
And I'm a bad influence.
Well, you are, because you're like, get it, do it.
Well, because it's also, you've been complaining for so many years that you don't really have a wedding ring.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I got it.
Just get it. It looks pretty. It's you.
Yeah.
It's a great deal. I don't think there's any other time you're going to get something like that.
It's true.
So,
and it was
I'll be like,
it was one of a kind.
So we can end that part, right? So we can end the complaints of the wedding ring.
Yes, so I got my wedding set. It's very nice. I'm very happy. And it was Hawks and Company that we went to on Maine and Greenfield. So shout out to them because they did a nice job on their custom pieces. Yeah. So very nice.
And they worked with you a long time and they wanted you happy. So when we were complaining about it, he was like, okay, I think you got your watch battery for free.
Yeah, and it was like 20% off on my repairs.
So go to them. They had a lot of nice pieces in there too.
Yeah, they do.
So
you're getting ready for something in 2 weeks too.
Oh, my court?
Yes.
I know, I need it.
I was asking AI, like in Arizona, if someone is over 65 and they're involved in like a aggravated assault, then they almost are in favor of the elderly.
Which is sad because he was alcoholic and on pain meds, and here I'm like, you're going to believe him when he's way stronger than me still, and I don't really understand that. Well, and what I also want to say is, like, from the second I moved in there, he was, like, wanting to claim elder. Like, he was just all hyped up on, I want to get you in trouble with elder abuse for some weird reason. Like, if I didn't sit down
you just stayed away from him.
Yeah, I just stayed away from him. And even when I would, like, if I wouldn't sit there and listen to him, because he sits there and lies and besmirches everybody, and it's depressing, and it's annoying, and... So if I didn't sit there and listen to it, he was like, I'm calling the police and elder abuse. So this is all just sort of an ironic situation that this actually happened. When I called in trauma, they arrested me. So I don't know what's going to happen. What's
interesting is our dad is called the prosecutor's office, and he's fighting for you to have some plea agreement. So he's like, this was a one-time incident. I don't want to press charges. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want
Yeah, but what his game
he
is...
He wants the minimum sentencing for you, but...
No, but then he's saying I'm guilty and it's elder abuse, right? So this is where he's a conundrum. This is how he works people. He pretends to love and be there for people and support them, but there's really an underlining, like, but I'm going to say stuff to make you actually look worse.
So we're going to see in 2 weeks when you...
So I'm expecting the worst. I'm expecting him actually saying the worst. And I'm assuming he's digging his own grave by calling people and telling them how they should be doing their job. When he's calling prosecutor and telling
usually
them what to
victim doesn't really plead
and
for the...
That's what I bring up. Like, how is he really the victim when he's the alcoholic on drugs? Even Mom, so, they have the camera on him, and Mom had said that he's drinking all day and taking drugs, and he has a foul mouth that's disturbing for everybody.
So maybe we'll see what happens, like, in a couple weeks. So do we have anything to look forward to other than that? We've gone to Pine Top to get out of the heat a little bit, but...
Yeah, no, I don't. I have a court case coming up that I have no idea what's going to happen, and now my phone's not really working, and I don't know what to do. You guys said get a hold of prosecutor and...
No, public defender.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Public defender. See how that goes.
But... I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to go in and speak the truth, and they'll do what they feel like they should do. But a lot of these laws can be quite crazy.
Yeah, you have a big
65,
support.
So they're saying 65 if any elders, and that's insane.
65 and older.
You know how men can be very fit and strong. And so you're saying, like, if you're a woman or a kid involved with a guy that's 65 and older, the kid or the woman's going to be in trouble? That's insanity.
Well, that's Arizona law because of all the retirement communities and assisted living here and all of that.
Okay.
So. But, hey, we have a lot of support. We have a huge group that came for Easter.
Yeah.
So I had...
it was very good food. Oh, they all make such good food.
I had like 20 people here. Yeah, everyone
yeah.
brought a side. Sean smoked the ham and he grilled tri-tip. And we had some of our daughter-in-laws and parents here, and then a nephew here, and then Mom came and hid some eggs in the backyard filled with chocolate and candy.
Melting.
It was 90 degrees.
Oh, it's so warm already.
And then our niece came with her 3 kids, played. So it was a nice Sunday dinner. Yeah. Did you gain anything from conference? We watched also general conference from church.
Well, they did happen to be talking about, not fighting and arguing. And so,
Love your enemies.
Well, that's, okay, so this is my conundrum with the Bible. Bible will say, get away from railers and whoremongers, or stand up for truth and righteousness, right? But then on the other hand, it's saying, no, forgive 70 times 7 and love your enemy and let them,
pray for those that despitefully use you
and persecute you and everything. So it is like, okay, I think I do think that way for the most part, because like I said, I grew up with thinking, my dad hates me. He thinks I'm like his brother who he hates and jealous of and everything. He's always just used me as a workhorse. Like, I'm not a real person. And I'm like, okay, he doesn't like me. Whatever. I made peace with it.
Yeah.
I still gave him, took him to steak dinners. He went to so many golf tournaments where he got free food and drinks and enjoyed that. But it's like it's never good enough. Massaging him growing up, just helping him out. We all have those stories. And moving them. Yeah, Jill and I moving them like every 6 months for I don't know how many times. But
3 years.
You think that he would just be cool and not bring up, like we would all forgive him for the past if he would let it lie.
Yeah.
But the problem is he'll retell it where he's more the victim. And it's like, it's frustrating because he's beating up everybody that you know.
Well, he rewrites the history so that he doesn't look as bad or
But if he would just let it go, everybody would let it go. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. So where I get frustrated with him is I'm very into truth and facts. Mm-hmm. So if he's sitting there and he's trying to tell me, like there's times, of course, I've just been like, whatever, and I just leave the room. Plenty of that. Mm-hmm. But when he just goes too far, when he, says very disturbing things that can't leave my head, yeah, I do think, him just railing on mom, railing on my kids, just because mom wants to talk to them about Jesus, which they don't mind. They love their grandmother. They don't care. Yeah. It's who she is. It's who they'd rather have a grandma like that than a grandma beating them up or anything, and right?
Mom's
so they're like, hey, we don't have a problem.
She's preached her entire life.
Yeah, she's a preacher.
To the grandchildren, their entire lives.
And they all love her. And they're fine with her being like that. So when they hear the grandpa talking down to her, give her, that's the problem. Claire and I especially, I don't know if it's because I was raised to be mom's protector. I mean, I was oldest in the house when dad was the worst to her. I had those very fearful, like when she's going at him with the iron, and you're looking at her like she's the crazy one.
Yeah, she was the crazy one.
And I'm shaking, and I'm in high school, and I'm shaking and not knowing what to do. And your mom's looking crazy, and your dad's convincing you all these years that she's crazy. But then you learn later, like, oh no, he psychologically abused her to no end, to the point of like, oh my word, any woman, I'm surprised she didn't kill him.
Yeah, I was worried that she is going to like turn on him and like one day just snap.
Well, I think that's why she pretty much just lives with Jesus in her mind. She has to.
Oh yeah.
And that's what's been helpful for her. But the rest of us that come into it and we feel like we need to protect our mom, or my daughter's like that, protecting her grandma.
But mom doesn't want to be protected. She's happy with it.
Yes, she does. When we're on walks and she's saying she's afraid of him, and then her friends are saying, oh, we're glad you're here for your mom.
Keeps the peace is really what she does. She's not afraid of him physically. She's afraid of setting him off. She gets up, and see, this is the other problem. I grew up with her having taken it so much and then giving him a slap. So, of course, that's my bad, is like when you're raising, it's both toxic. It's a toxic environment. Yeah.
They shouldn't be together, never should have. But that's also where I'm like.
They chose, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be there to fight her battles. I know that. But it's really hard when you see your frail little mother having to lift his huge walker and take care of him and constantly serve him. And she's physically, I don't know, like we worry that he's going to fall on her.
Well,
and break her.
She loves being there, so you can't change any of that. But we've been watching The Chosen. We did like a Chosen binge too. Yeah. And we do learn that, yes, Christ did move among the people without money, right? People always provided. There were people in their path that took care of them. And that to call upon the atonement of Jesus Christ when you don't know how to handle like all of these trials and things. So see, like with me, what's different with me, I have peace with mom and dad and who they, decide to be as a couple, and my relationship with them, because again, I leave when I say,
when you're not living there. Yeah, I had it too.
Yeah. And you just accept them for who they are, because no one likes to be told what to do. We know that. And people are going to do what's set in their mind to do. And so then you're just there to support them, and you think, okay, I'm here as a supportive person, and then just, leave it to the Lord. Leave it to the Lord how people are going to live, right?
Right, but this is also the problem, is when the Bible is saying, you are your brother's keeper, and you are there, that there is a righteous, like it's even with Jesus bringing the whip and throwing over the tables because people were not listening.
Cleansing the temple.
I'm not saying that there's a righteous anger, but I don't know, when you're protecting children, when you're protecting people from just horrid
Well, that's when you
existence.
leave. Yeah, you have to just
But I'm not, so see, we're all made differently.
You're never going to change other people.
It's not about changing, it's about protecting.
Well, how do you protect? By leaving the room, by leaving the environment.
Well, I think this is where we're all made differently. There's a reason why some people want to go be cops or lawyers, right? And why other people like want to be teachers, want to be dentists, want to be creators. I mean, we're all made different. And for some reason, I'm made with that fight in me.
Yeah.
That I feel like I'm supposed to fight for people and say, listen, you're not being fair here. This is not okay. You cannot be lying about people incessantly to make other people treat them bad.
Yeah. So you call them out. So you are like the proper police. Like you do want to. So this isn't
and for everybody,
proper.
It's not just for me. It's for mom. It's for my siblings, kids, all the kids. I do it for everybody because it's not right what he says.
Well, and I've accepted that, I've had, things bad said about me and I don't really care. So I'm at peace with how I've had my relationship with mom and dad. And so it's fine. I guess that's where you evolve into that.
Well, that's always been you.
Yeah.
I'm me, you're you.
Right.
You've always been like, just stay away from it.
Yeah.
I do stay away from it too, but if I am around it and I see it, I do feel more of an obligation to stand up for what's true.
Well, and that's a good piece of advice, is stand up for truth and righteousness, right?
Yeah, but not to the point of where I, of course, slapped him in the face.
There's a saying, though, that says the only way evil can prevail is if good men do nothing. So we do need to stand up for ourselves. We do need to stand up for what's right.
But not to the point of wrath. And I think that's what I've learned is that, you stand up, you say your piece, but the wrath part, you don't want anyone to get you to do the 7 deadly sins. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much does that with every one of us. And so that's where he gets me. He gets me to wrath. And that's where I needed to be like, well obviously I can't be around this person ever again. You won't be around
him probably ever again. So that's probably a freedom
Oh, it is. It's a huge weight off my shoulders to be like, oh, I tried. Did my best, whatever.
Yeah.
Try to be patient. I don't want to be around it. It's too miserable of an existence. And
look what you have to look forward to. You get to reinvent your whole life.
Yeah.
And become the person that you want to be.
Yeah.
And focus in on your interests and your desires.
Well, and that's what, society should all have that. That's where I'm just saying, like, if we go towards robotics and AI and they're going to, there'll be eyes everywhere then. And that's not a bad thing.
Well, eyes are everywhere now.
Yeah, and it keeps us in line. Like even when I was watching the thing about Chavez, what's his first name?
Oh, Cesar Chavez.
Cesar Chavez, and how she was saying, like, he's known in society as such this great man that was...
For labor laws,
yes,
immigration
but yet
laws.
His inside, people close to him, family, they were all traumatized and terrorized by him. So... that's not okay.
No, it's not.
Like, I don't know why people think that's okay.
But the time period in the 70s, right? 60s, 70s is like that fear, too.
Yeah. Well, I think they got away with murder because, maybe they felt like people didn't have eyes on them. And, which is funny because people who are true Christians actually believe God sees everything, and yet so many people live as though God doesn't, and that's comical. It's comical.
And that's what we learned with Adam and Eve when Satan says, "Partake of this fruit," and then hurry, go hide because you took the fruit, and they're like, "Oh, let's hide," because they're like listening. So
that's another bad thing about Satan,
and you're like
making people think,
that you can't hide.
No.
You cannot hide your sins. It's best to just come clean and go, oh, I did this. Let's make amends through the atonement of Christ.
Yeah.
So anyway, our wisdom is to, protect yourself, stand up, and
to a point,
help
if you can,
help your fellow men and women in the world.
Try to produce equality in the world, I think, is
and
the
serve
main thing.
serve one another.
Yeah, be helpful.
All right, thanks for hanging out in the middle of everything where we can stir the pot from both sides.
Toodles.